Hello Mechwarriors. Today we're doing a review and a match of the Spider-D, and this is the Platinum Edition. I just call it the DP, or the Rain Man. It's part of the Rain Man series of my mechs, and if you've never seen the movie Rain Man, you won't understand. Anyway, this is just a beautiful mech, I think. I just really love the lines of it, and I know I gush about the Sun Spiders a lot, but it's really true. And one of the things I love about these mechs the most, I think, is the fact that they have omnipods, which means you can build this into anything you want it to be. You can grab any Sun Spider and make a missile build, an energy build, or a ballistics build, and just have a ball. And in most cases, if you can see it, you can shoot it. You don't have to worry about pulling your whole body out of the cover and into the rain and being able to put your weapons down range. Because some mechs, they'll have their weapons load out down here. It's just terrible. But this guy, everything's up high. And if you can see it, you can shoot it for the most part. I mean, there's a little bit of gap here because here's the cockpit and here these are. But it's not like it is on some mechs where the arms hang way down past the thighs or into the thighs. And you can see the thighs on these things are really short. But, you know, it's what it is. Anyways, let's take a look at this build. So this is one of my, what I refer to as hodgepodge builds, or omnipod builds. And what makes these special is that you can change these things around. Take that, Inner Sphere. Inner Sphere mechs, basically, until they add omnipods, you can't really do anything with them other than what the mech was originally intended for. Oh sure, if it's got energy and ballistics on it, you can build an energy build or a ballistics build, if provided that you've got enough of both. But in many cases, you can't. You have to do with whatever the mech is capable of doing and deal with it from there. And I know what some of you veteran players out there are saying is, I can't believe he's running 2 in the rear. Oh, God, what a waste. He had to be running 1 in the rear. I know, but I'm just that kind of a player. On some of my Sun Spiders, I run 3 in the rear, which I think is just being a little bit wasteful maybe, but, you know, it's just the way it is. It depends on the playstyle of each mech. So this particular mech, I have this one set up running B arms back and forth, and then I have the C on the torsos, and then of course I have the D head, D center torso, which you kind of have to have, and the D left and right legs. So we're not going to get a lot of the things out of the quirks on this build, but we'll take a look at what we're getting out of this. So the center torso, we're getting plus 10. The legs, we're not getting anything extra, but we're getting plus 10 on the armor, so that's a nice feature. Come over here, and we're getting a plus 7. And we're getting plus 10. And we're married, so we're not getting anything. No head. And plus 10. And probably plus 7 again. Right? Yep. So we're not getting a lot in the way of quirks, but we are getting a lot in the way of being able to throw a weapon down range. We have 4 LRM-20s. We have 2 ER medium lasers, and we have 7 tons of ammo. Now that's not going to last forever, but it's going to give you some good time. And this is fully skilled out, so that means I'm getting full advantage. I'm not just getting the 240 missiles, I'm getting the additional 36. So that's going to give me some time on the battlefield. And I find most matches are done in the first 6 minutes. You know, sometimes you get lucky and you get into a 5.5 minute match. Sometimes you get really lucky and you get into like a 10-minute match, and those are rare. But they do happen from time to time. Typically, you're chasing around a light mech, or you're the light mech being chased around. I just say man up and go and take your punishment. Your team lost. Don't make everybody wait for you. So let's get to the meat and potatoes. So this has a heat management of 1.35. I have 6 systems on here that produce heat, and I still have a heat management of 1.35. I have a firepower of 92. I have a speed of 81. Now, how do I fire these? In the beginning of the match, I'll fire all 4 of these. I'll just fire all 4 of them, 1 volley, 2 volleys, wait about 3 seconds, then do a third volley. That usually keeps me just under the heat scale. The cooldown on these is 4.6 seconds. So I have to wait 4.6 seconds for the first volley. Now, if you want to have a little bit of fun with this build, change out the 2 of the LRM-20s with LRM-15s, and then that'll give you a chain fire skill where you'll fire all 4 and then the LRM-15s will fire. So I do have to wait a little bit of time, more than a few 3 seconds or so. But typically what I like to do is if I'm in range, I'll fire my energy weapons first while I'm getting a lock on my LRM-20s. And that works on whether I'm driving an LRM boat, an ATM build, and in my case of my Interspear builds, my Thunderbolts. So I'll use my energy weapons to throw a little bit of damage downrange while I'm waiting for the lock. Once I get the lock up, then I fire them. In some cases, I don't like to get a lock, and if I get a lock on the target, I'll actually purposely unlock the target. Sometimes you have to do it a couple times in the course of the flight, and the reason for doing that is you can allow yourself to target a more centralized point on the mech. So like if he's got like a loose leg where the leg is damaged and open armor on it, you can actually target the leg and fire at them if they're stationary, and you can actually take the leg off, and you may have to unlock the target a couple times because it'll try and target lock again. It's just the nature of the beast, and it is kind of a beautiful thing. So the energy weapons will reach out to 400 meters, and in the case of this, they'll go to 460. Now, a lot of times when I'm firing on targets that are really far out, they're out better than 900 meters. So then I won't try and fire my energy points. But if I see my energy points do have a target on them, and I'm going to be able to do a little bit of damage, then I'll do that. Gets their attention sometimes, and then they stop and turn to look at you, and then that's when they see the missiles coming in. So that gives you that little opportunity to get that little bit of extra damage, because if they're moving back and forth and they're not aware of you, you may fire your missiles, and when the target lock hits them, they immediately go into cover. But if you fire your lasers at them, sometimes they'll actually turn and look at you, which is really kind of a bonus. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, so you have to think about that a little bit when you're playing in match play. So what else are we getting out of this build? Well, let's take a look at the skills. So we go to the skills. You can see I'm pretty skilled out. And I went with maximum range so that my missiles go the furthest and my energy points go the furthest. Heat generation, even though this is 1.35, I'm not taking advantage of it too much. I went with full heat generation. I'm not worried too much about velocity because I have really good indirect fire and direct fire. Direct fire is actually a little bit better, I think, than the Interspear mechs. But the indirect fire isn't as good as the Interspear mechs. So, but it's still pretty decent. It's better than Thunderbolts. If somebody's got a Thunderbolt build, I'm not too worried. I'm worried about getting hit by them, but I'm not too worried about their indirect fire. They're really slow. So I got one into velocity. Full missile features, and by the way, you got to do this. Unless you've got just ample racks, you've got 2 LRM-20s and 5 tons of ammo, you're probably going to be okay. But I do the full missile rack, which gives you additional ammo, and this gives you a tighter spread. Think of it like a long barrel shotgun. And then this gives you a better chance of doing crit damage. Full skeletal density, armor hardening, reinforced casing. I even do this on my light mechs, and I've actually seen that it does make a difference. It may not have made a difference years ago, but it does make a difference nowadays. And then 1 into overheat damage, just in case, because I do get really hot on this build. So I'm running Cool Run and Heat Containment. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I consider this like free internal armor. I always drive with override on, and if you're going to ride with override on, you better think about these 2 items here, because they're going to really make a difference in the amount of damage you do to yourself during the match. It's kind of like an insurance policy. So target decay, absolutely maxed out. LRM builds, Thunderbolt builds, absolutely recommended. I didn't go all the way out on radar deprivation on this build, and it's because I wanted to get as much heat management as I could. This is still, even at 1.35, this is still a really hot build. So I had to take 2 of the radar deprivations off here, and a little bit of the sensor range, but it worked out for me. And then I have 2 cool shots in the UAV. Basically, this is just basically for doing straight out missile brawling as far as range goes. I want to keep myself near the front lines, but not necessarily the front lines. And I'm going to help people get kills by doing lots and lots of damage. If you're getting attacked by somebody and you target, I can throw missiles in. They're going to see that. They're going to try and go to cover. That might put them in a bad situation where they turn their back to you. Boom, you're getting a kill. You might be at the end of your leg, and as long as you have a target lock, boom, I might get a kill, or I might get you the kill. If you really want to soften up targets on the battlefield, don't forget to get that target lock. That target lock is going to help you get multiple amounts of damage and be able to get lots of kills on the battlefield. You may hate receiving missiles in the battlefield, but nobody complains about missile builds on the battlefield helping sway the battle. It really puts people under cover. Everybody's looking for an umbrella. And not everybody has a Corsair on the battlefield. But this guy is the only thing that I'm afraid of on the battlefield is either a Corsair or a Piranha. Most of the other things doesn't bother me. I've got enough weapon on board to do damage. And if you're not too excited about the ER medium lasers, you can throw on the heavy medium lasers, and that also does work. Heat management changes a little bit, but it's still pretty good. Anyway, I hope you like the match coming up, and I hope to see you on the battlefield.
Hello.
And override we trust.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
This is Clan Command. Get to the target and capture it. Cut down any enemies that get in the way.
Override engage.
I like this map overall.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Size of the trees. The trees kind of suck in a way.
Well, it's better than Hellbore.
Jeez.
We held the zone for 25%.
Yeah, definitely better than Bear Claw. Also, I'm tired of that map.
Yeah, you feel like you're just walking around in a cave after a while.
Yeah.
Halfway there.
Target acquired.
Target spotted.
New target acquired. New target acquired. New target acquired.
Target spotted.
If you see that Evan Jack, his right leg is totally cord red. He's near, I don't know where he is. Delta 5, Echo 5.
New target acquired. New target
spotted.
acquired.
Delta's in a bad place. He just dropped in the basement.
New target acquired.
Golf's cord. Center mass.
New target acquired.
Sorry.
New target acquired. Major torso critical damage. New target acquired.
Target spotted.
Target destroyed. Left torso critical damage.
Yeah, so much for that guy.
Target spotted.
I'm one shot behind.
Target acquired. New target acquired.
Get a rain on Juliet.
New target acquired. Left guard critical damage.
Juliet's right torso is open.
Yeah, beat it.
Juliet's left leg is open.
Beat it down.
New target acquired.
I gave it my best.
New target acquired.
Mech near Charlie 4 Delta 4. Like Bell Jack.
Green, you're getting nailed by a couch.
He's legged.
New target acquired. New target acquired. New target acquired. New target acquired. Right arm destroyed.
Your efforts here have been seriously disappointing. The enemy is victorious.
Sometimes you're the boot, sometimes you're the end.